Hi there. Jess Kamoff here, mental performance consultant candidate, LPC, school counselor, coach, athlete, and general sports lover. Coming to you today with something I truthfully didn't want to come to you with. I have written an open letter to athletes, and with the recent updates this week in the news, I felt that now would be the most appropriate time. So, without further ado, dear athletes, I have to be completely honest, I was much more optimistic last week. I thought that once March 30th came, we'd be back to school and back to sport. I jokingly thought to myself, well, at least the weather will be better for when we get back to spring practice. I was ready to book my flight to the track and field Olympic trials and held on to hope that winter seasons would be able to finish their championships. When the Surgeon General came on TV and said it's going to be really bad this week, and Governor Wolf said that schools in Pennsylvania would be shut down until at least April 6th, my optimism waned. I still hold on to hope because at least when we have hope, we have time to recognize how we feel, acknowledge the possible outcomes, both positive and negative, and time to process our reality day by day. Being a part of any community is part of our identity. It's what makes us who we are. Being an athlete is no different. It's a brotherhood and a sisterhood. Even though we may have played different sports, we all have many things in common. We've shared the highs of a win and the agony of a defeat. We've been angry about the workout our coach has given us. We've had the fun bus rides and banquets and travel. We've created bonds with teammates, and we've had a word or two with an opponent. We've overcome injury and celebrated PRs. Many of you have played your sport since you were toddlers. Others of you may have picked it up recently because your friends joined the team. Regardless, being an athlete is a component of your identity, and right now that future is uncertain. When terms like social distancing are being used, I worry that right now so many people are viewing this as isolation. I wish we would use the term physical distancing instead. Right now, we need to be more connected socially than ever by reaching out to each other in our athletic community. After you watch this video, I urge you to call or video chat a teammate, a coach, a friend, and just check in with them. Ask them how they're doing and tell them how you're feeling. You aren't alone in this, and our athletic community needs to bond through this difficult time. Having a season-ending injury is the closest thing anyone has experienced to this quarantine situation, but even that doesn't seem to come close right now. You've all had your season, your potential highs, potential lows, potential learning experiences, and potential memories taken from you. You have every right to feel how you feel, and there's no right or wrong way. There are so many what ifs and what could have beens. Being aware of these feelings right now and talking about them will help you to process what's going on. I spoke to a young man this week who's training for the Olympic trials, and right after we spoke, the news about postponing the Olympics had been confirmed. He's choosing to see this as a positive, even though he's put his career off and future plans for a year. He then said to me that he has another year to focus and train. I spoke to another young man whose pro day was postponed for football. He doesn't have access to much equipment at home, so he said this situation has helped him to be much more creative in his training and focus on developing skills in areas that he typically doesn't spend much time on. For seniors, if these seasons are canceled, you will need closure. If you are competing in college, you will still have your shot at continuing, even though this season is not how you had hoped. If you were hoping this was a season that propelled you into the next level, what could you be doing right now with your training to get there? Are there coaches you can contact or other competitions this summer to register for? If your plans were to be done with athletic competition, try to think of one more way you can still be able to incorporate some closure to your high school athletic career. I don't mean that you shouldn't continue being active, but is there something you can do to be competitive at least one last time? If you're a runner, what races could you do? If you play baseball, can you play Legion ball? You still have potential to create a fun and lasting athletic closure to your senior season. I haven't given up hope, and I hope you haven't either, but I think preparing for some worst-case scenarios will help us to process, appreciate what sport has given us, and to help us identify our future options. If there's anything that you are personally struggling with during this time, feel free to comment below or email me at jkamoff@gmail.com. That's JCAMMAUF@gmail.com, so we can work on this together. Stay well. Jess.